Welcome back, and we return to the snow because you can't really get away from it. Krishnan has more.
Well, with all the disruption and people missing work, the cold snap could be costing the economy as much as £1.2 billion a day, although much of that will be made up afterwards. Analysts fear the snow will badly affect Christmas sales. One survey estimated that 57% of employees arrived to work late, if at all, yesterday. UK wholesale gas reached its highest price since early 2009 during the gas dispute between Russia and Ukraine. Power consumption peaked around 5:30 this evening at 58,000 megawatts, not far off the record of 59,500. The RAC said it was attending to as many as 2,000 call-outs every hour, and more than 6,500 schools across the UK have been closed. John.
It's a very difficult picture right across the country, but from the air there is a different view of the troubles on the ground. Andy Davies has taken to the skies to see what it's like from there.
In Buckinghamshire this morning, as across the country, a luminous covering of snow had transformed the landscape. There'd been heavier blizzards elsewhere, but here the empty playgrounds and redundant golf courses with their faint traces of bunkers and fairways offered another torpid picture of Britain in winter. Trains ran, but with altered services. Most of the main roads we flew over seemed to function well, but off the beaten track in dormant suburbs, the pace of life looked to have slowed considerably. In North London, a pocket of green glimmered under the ground lamps of White Hart Lane, home to Spurs Football Club. It was lunchtime, and hopes here of staging a 2018 World Cup game had not yet been extinguished. At the nascent Olympic Stadium, construction work had ground to a halt. And a few miles away at London City Airport, the runway lights flickered in the distance, but flattered to deceive. The snow ploughs busied themselves, but the planes stood motionless. The airport is still closed this evening. We moved further eastwards, out towards Essex, and as the snow grew thicker, it became less forgiving. It didn't look like there was much of a track here, but it hadn't deterred this commendable postman who wouldn't give up even when it looked like a lost cause. With front wheels still spinning, out he came to shift some snow. Back behind the wheel he tried again, but to no avail. As he briefly watched us, watching him, back to work he went, and slowly but surely he carved away out of the field to resume his round. It looked like unbridled joy further along as foals galloped through the powdered fields and children took to their sledges. We headed north over Epping Forest and then into Hertfordshire. In the midst of this almost cinematic vista, we came across the mighty fictional domain of Messrs Potter & Co, Hogwarts School, and beside it at Leavesden Studios, Potter's home in Privet Drive. Finally into the Chilterns, past the Boer War monument at the summit of Coombe Hill, back in Buckinghamshire, in all its statuesque grandeur.
Terrific stuff there from Andy Davies. There's much more on the developing weather picture across the country on our website, channel4.com/news. It includes one man's story of a nightmare 8-hour journey from London to his Brighton home. Tonight's main news, football ni idiot domoi. That's the Russian for football's not coming home. Russia's message to England, England's bid to host the 2018 World Cup failed. Russia gets the tournament instead. Qatar will host the 2022 World Cup, and temperatures here set to fall further tonight as the cold snap continues to affect much of the country. Full weather forecast just after we come off air. Channel 4 News continues online, channel4.com/news. Back tomorrow at 7. Until then, from Krishnan and from me, that's Channel 4 News. Good evening.